Amos, still a lot of heavy hearts out here as they continue to look for their neighbors and do the cleanup. One big concern is dehydration. That's why the Salvation Army canteen behind me is so critical. We were out here earlier with the KEYE team. We were serving lunch to first responders, volunteers, and the people really wiped out because of this flooding here in Wimberley. And the job is far from over. They will be cleaning up here for years to come. And the massive cleanup effort is disturbing when you get on the ground. And joining me right now is KEYE-TV's Adam Hammonds. Come in here and tell me about what you saw as you were out there today walking with the rescue crews.
Yeah, well, really, to me, it's just the power of the water that went through here.
They desperately need any contribution you can give, especially the Salvation Army out here. I was out here with Bob Ballou, Chikage Windler, and Hema Muller, serving the people who are serving this community here in Wimberley. We handed out lunch, dozens of lunches to people in need, and we were really serving more than meals. They're serving hope out of this canteen.
We're putting together sausage wraps, pinto beans, and applesauce.
The city of Austin is concerned as they watch what's going on here. So now they're trying to look at setting up a flood task force. They're putting that on the agenda. They will look at that starting tomorrow. Now this flood task force will look at resources, money from the taxpayers, and what kind of need Austin would have to have if we had devastating flooding like they had here on the Blanco River. That's one thing that we'll be looking at tomorrow. We'll have a full report on the details of this coming up on KEYE-TV News at 6 o'clock. And you just saw Chikage Windler in that story there about the canteen when we came out here to volunteer with the American Red Cross and the Salvation Army. And you could see she was visibly shaken and emotional. You can't help it out here. When you hear these people's stories, one thing they need is to dry out and start rebuilding, and that's what they're doing. And Chikage Windler, Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Chikage Windler, has more on the weather conditions here in Wimberley.
You know what, Walt? Crews are searching for them along the Blanco River. Walt Maciborski joins us live in Wimberley tonight, leading our team coverage. Walt, a lot of people there need some help.
That's for sure. You know, this search and rescue effort is going to take days, weeks, even years before Wimberley totally recovers, but they are on their way. Today we lent a hand to the Salvation Army here. This is their canteen truck. It's fully stocked with snacks and a hot meal to help the people really hit hardest by these floods get back on their feet. A little hot meal, some water, and get back to the rescue and recovery. You know, we had a chance today to go out into some of the hardest hit areas with some of the first responders and the search and rescue teams. KEYE-TV's Adam Hammonds shows us what he found.
As they're working long hours every day to try and get these families some closure.
That was KEYE-TV's Adam Hammonds reporting. You know, Austin is watching this in Wimberley very closely. San Marcos, how they're responding to this disaster. You know, Shoal Creek, Waller Creek, that flooded when the rains came over Memorial Day weekend. Will Austin be ready for a major disaster? That's what the City Council is looking at right now. They're thinking about starting a new flood task force. And KEYE-TV's Lydia Pontasis is standing by live right now in Central Austin with more on this idea. Lydia? Thank you, Lydia. The last thing we want is to be caught off guard in Austin. We're seeing how this wall of water devastated this community and how they are rebuilding. It's a Herculean effort. I'm in front of the Salvation Army canteen. Right now, they are gearing up for dinner. They have the hot meals ready. They are fully stocked and ready to go, trying to serve the first responders and the victims of this flooding. Now, earlier today, the KEYE team served lunch. We served dozens of meals to those in need. You know, spend just a few minutes here and you are touched by the outpouring of support. The residents say they are overwhelmed by all the help.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe the support you all are offering. This is amazing.
Well, you know, these folks have been hit pretty hard, so whatever the Salvation Army can do to help.
Please, wherever you can, make a donation to the Salvation Army. They desperately need your help as they help communities throughout Texas, not just Central Texas, rebuild, but Wimberley and San Marcos especially hit hard. But they're not going to stop and let this define them. We just talked to a resident a moment ago who said they're going to have market days this weekend in Wimberley, and they're going to continue moving forward in this community. It's a great sign. The last thing they need right now, though, is more rain. So let's head over to Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Chikage Windler with an outlook on our forecast. Nice and hot today. A big concern was dehydration. Chikage?
Absolutely, yeah. You want to keep it cool if you can.